He was a standout three-sport athlete competing in football, basketball, track, and field. He earned 8 varsity letters during his high school career.
8 varsity?
Joe served as team captain.
You have anything better to do?
All-county, all-conference, and all-district honors.
He made $0 in high school, ever. He didn't work a 1 ounce.
In track and field, Joe specialized in the throws, winning conference titles in both shot put, discus, qualifying for the regionals and the shot put. After graduation, Joe attended the University of Toledo, majoring in physical education.
Nobody said 8.
While there, he competed in track field for 2 seasons before walking on to the football
That's
team.
8 different sports. No, because you get 1 varsity.
You can get a varsity letter every year.
Oh, then 8's nothing. That's 2 sports, junior and senior year.
We did 3.
Championship in 1995
So
and won
varsity
MAC West titles in 97 and 98.
since sophomore
Prior
year,
to
maybe
Joe's
freshman
playing
year,
career was competing in Ohio
sophomore.
Stadium against the Ohio State Buckeyes in 1997.
So he just
Following
be
his
varsity
college
in 2
career,
different
Joe
sports
returned
for
to
freshman
Sunbury
year.
where he began teaching physical education at Big Walnut. A role he has held for
He
24
played 3
years.
sports though.
He also started his coaching
3?
journey
Yeah,
as
so
a
he
volunteer
played
under
3
Scott
sports.
Wessel, coaching his younger brother Buck Weaver. Since then, Joe has coached numerous sports at both the middle school and high school levels.
I should be thrown into our Hall of Fame,
5
bro.
years at the middle school level, 3 years boys high school.
Hey, man.
I got
1 year
every
girls
single
track and field.
record
12 years
for soccer at our
middle
school.
11 years high school
When'd you
coach,
graduate?
Where?
producing several conference
2023.
champions.
Oh,
2
yeah.
state qualifiers and 1
2023,
state
they
place.
scratch your back, man. You
Football,
gotta wait 10
4 years
years.
middle school, 1 year freshman.
That's another guy you got another
5 years
12.
varsity,
For real?
defensive coordinator.
10 years is what it is.
Central Ohio
I mean, every high school's
Assistant
different.
Coach of the
though.
Yeah.
Year.
I'm
He served
assuming
as defensive
the
coordinator
averages
for
are
the
probably right,
2007
like
state
within 5 years,
championship
man,
team
you know?
and the 2008 state semifinalist team. Joe went on to become Big Walnut's head football coach for 10 years.
Yeah, I think it's 10 years, it's like your 10-year reunion,
Honored
like-
twice, leading the program to
Like
its
a knowledge and
first
stuff.
Division II playoff berth, a regional final.
I really hope there's a running clock.
And memorable comeback victories over Mount Vernon and Westerville South and homecoming games remembered as miracle comebacks. Today, Joe teaches physical education at Big Walnut High School. His current coaching duties focus on middle school track and most importantly supporting his 4 children, Caleb, Cora, Jason, and Cole, in their athletic pursuits. Joe and his wife Abby remain active members of Big Walnut community where his commitment to student athletes has left a lasting impact. Let's have a nice round of applause for Joe.
Oh. It is becoming.
Our next inductee is Journey Hayes. During her time at Big Walnut High School, Journey was a dedicated member of the varsity cheerleading team for both football and basketball all 4 years, as well as a member of the competition cheerleading team. Her team achieved historic success, winning OCC championships in 2010 and 2013, and capturing the first state title in Big Walnut cheerleading history during the 2013 season. Journey was also honored with the top cheerleader award at Cheer Hawaii in 2011. In addition to school cheerleading, she competed with an all-star cheerleading team through high school and had the opportunity to travel to Hawaii twice to attend a national cheerleading camp. She was recognized as a scholar athlete each year of her high school career. After graduation, Journey continued her cheerleading career at the collegiate level. She began at the University of Kentucky, cheering for both football and basketball during her freshman year and competing on the UK White Squad. She later transferred to the Ohio State University, where she cheered for 4 years on both the football and basketball teams and was a member of the national competition team each year. During her time at Ohio State, Journey had the incredible opportunity to cheer at the first ever college football playoff in 2015, where the Buckeyes won the national championship. She also cheered at the Sugar Bowl, 2 Fiesta Bowls, and the Cotton Bowl between 2015 and 2017. 2018, her team earned a 3rd place finish at UCA College Nationals. She was also a 4-time OSU Scholar Athlete. Following college, Journey earned her master's degree in applied behavior analysis and currently serves as the assistant clinical director at a behavioral health clinic in North Carolina. Journey is the daughter
The only
of
way to
Chad
check is
Lady
go on your
and
phone.
Sloan. She currently resides in North Carolina with her husband, Evan Hayes, who is stationed there with the United States Marine Corps. Together, they are raising their 8-month-old son, Cohen, along with their nieces, Kennedy Fleischman and Marianne Sloan, and their nephew, Nathan Fleischman. Congratulations, Journey Hayes. Our next inductee is Mr. Chad Meyer. Chad distinguished himself as a multi-sport athlete at Big Walnut High School, excelling in both wrestling and football with a career marked by leadership, resilience, and competitive excellence. In wrestling, Chad compiled an outstanding career record of 110, 39 losses, and 1 tie, including 48 pins, and earned 4 varsity letters. He is a 3-time Central District All-Star, 2-time CBL champion, 2-time district placer. His senior year was especially decorated, earning honors as the 1993 sectional champion, Golden Eagle Award, and MVP at the Jonathan Alder Invitational and Logan Elm Invitational. He was also named Delaware County Athlete of the Month in December of '92 and served as co-captain during the 92-93 season. On the football field, Chad was a 3-year varsity letter winner and served as co-captain in 1992. Demonstrating the same leadership and dedication that defined his wrestling career. Following graduation, Chad continued to embody the values of hard work and integrity. He is a proud owner of Meyer Construction, where he works as a skilled carpenter. Chad is the son of Robert and Cynthia Meyer and resides in Shawnee, Ohio, with his wife Sherry, a fellow Big Walnut alum, and their daughter Michaela, their son Cody, and soon-to-be proud grandfather of Wesley Meyer. Congratulations, Chad. Our last recipient is Mac Podraza. Mac is a 4-year letter winner at Big Walnut High School, where she established herself as one of the most accomplished volleyball players in program history. As a senior, she was named District and OCC Player of the Year, earned 2 first-team All-OCC selections, and was honored as the 2016 OCC Player of the Year. During her junior season, she surpassed 1,000 career assists, a milestone that highlighted her consistency and leadership on the court. On the national stage, Pedraza earned Under Armour second-team All-American honors, was a 2-time USAV All-American, and a JVA All-National team member. She represented Ohio in the state All-Star match, and with her club team, Mentonet Sports, helped lead her U16 team to the USA Volleyball Girls Junior National Championship. Mac went on to star at The Ohio State University, where she became one of the most decorated setters in program history. She was a 3-time first-team All-Big Ten selection and the first player in Ohio State history to be named Big Ten Setter of the Year. She earned 3 ABCA All-American honors, including second team in 2022. Over her Buckeye career, she was recognized 12 times as the Big Ten Setter of the Week and represented the United States as a member of the 2022 U.S. Women's Collegiate National Team. In the classroom, she was a 3-time academic All-Big Ten honoree and a 3-time OSU Scholar Athlete and a 2022 Big Ten Distinguished Scholar. Continue her career at Penn State University, she made an immediate impact. She was named to the first-team academic All-Big Ten team, and her playmaking was consistently recognized as she was a 3-time Big Ten Setter of the Week. Voted MVP of the Penn State Classic and selected the Penn State Invitational. In addition to her professional career, she remains connected to the collegiate game as an analyst for the Big Ten Network and Fox Sports, where she calls volleyball matches on national TV. From Big Walnut to Big Ten, and now the professional stage, Mac has showcased excellence at every level. Her achievements, leadership, and legacy secure her place as one of the most accomplished athletes in Big Walnut history and a proud inductee into Big Walnut High School Athletic Hall of Fame. Mac is the daughter of Chris Pedraza, and as well as sister of Jackson and Blake, who are also Big Walnut grads. Mac now lives in Covington, Kentucky, in their off-season with her fiance Tate and their 2 dogs, Rocky and Mula. Congratulations, Mac. Let's have another nice round of applause for all our inductees tonight.
Well, I think the first thing I would say to recommend this school is that it's affordable and flexible. And then the program itself, I would say that it has a very diverse, broad spectrum of fieldwork and career opportunities. I think the thing that prepared me the most was having that on-site directed practice, so I could actually be in an agency working with real people. And there's a ever-growing need for social work, especially in our community here.
This place means everything to us. This is where we come together. We do all of our birthdays out here. We grill hamburgers and hot dogs. We fish. I was about to give up. I was about to think that the property wasn't going to become mine. Rural First specializes in solving the problems. I made the call, and the rest is history. It was done. It made everything easy. Questions answered, walked me through the process. It was done. When I'm here, just feel peace. That's all it means to me. Peace.
Live and free coverage of Big Walnut Athletics, proudly presented by the Sunbury Fraternal Order of Eagles, serving the community since 1898.
This is Jonathan Langdon. Catch me right here every Thursday for the Block Party presented by Bob and Bob Door Company, your place for volleyball highlights on the OH Report.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
stretch of the 2025 campaign here in Week 8, and we are coming to you live from Sunbury, Ohio at Big Walnut High School. The Eagles Nest welcomes home legends here on Hall of Fame night, but despite all of the pomp and circumstance, there's still work to be done. At the top of the conference, Big Walnut Golden Eagles welcome the Westerville North Warriors, who are eager for a shot of redemption after a heartbreaking overtime loss at home last year. Bryce Coder and Joshua Anderson bringing you this one live and free right here on the OH Report. Join us for the complete Air Systems Heating and Cooling pregame show coming up next.
Well, I think the first thing I would say to recommend this school is that it's affordable and flexible. And then the program itself, I would say that it has a very diverse, broad spectrum of fieldwork and career opportunities. I think the thing that prepared me the most was having that on-site directed practice, so I could actually be in an agency working with real people. And there's a ever-growing need for social work, especially in our community here.
This place means everything to us. This is where we come together. We do all of our birthdays out here. We grill hamburgers and hot dogs. We fish. I was about to give up. I was about to think that the property wasn't going to become mine. Rural First specializes in solving the problems. I made the call, and the rest is history. It was done. It made everything easy. Questions answered, walked me through the process. It was done. When I'm here, just feel peace. That's all it means to me. Peace.
Live and free coverage of Big Walnut Athletics, proudly presented by the Sunbury Fraternal Order of Eagles, serving the community since 1898.
This is Jonathan Langdon. Catch me right here every Thursday for the Block Party presented by Bob and Bob Door Company, your place for volleyball highlights on the OH Report.
Take a look at all the action from Friday night football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Bryce Coder, Joshua Anderson here with the complete Air Systems Heating and Cooling pregame show, and we should have a good one for you here tonight in the Eagles Nest on Hall of Fame night, bringing back the legends, and heard all different types of great stories about all the different legends that were here. Fantastic night. Everyone's excited, and a conference matchup as well. I've got Joshua Anderson in the booth with me. Josh, how you doing?
Doing pretty well. Doing pretty well. Excited. It's a nice fall Friday, and it's got some good football on the menu today. I'm pretty hungry for it.
And it is a football Friday night, but it's starting to get chillier, the football Friday night weather that you would typically associate with it. But fantastic fall weather here for this one.
Definitely, definitely. Had to bring out almost a flannel today. It was always a nice one. A little pumpkin spice latte, too. I'm in the mood for that, you know.
Let's take a look at our team spotlight for Westerville North, and so far this season hasn't been an ideal one for them. 2-5, 1-2 in the conference, but they do have that strong offensive line and those diverse playmakers. Taking a look at a couple of their recent games against Westland, they lost 26-17. Westerville South 30-7 in that rivalry matchup. Into Hayes, they picked up a 7-point victory, 20-13. And you know, these teams where they don't have so many wins going into the later season, they can sometimes be the most dangerous.
Definitely, there's nothing more scary than an animal backed up against the wall, Bryce. And when we have nothing really to lose, you got everything to gain. So they're gonna bring out everything out in the toolbox, trick plays, little misdirection, anything to get you off your game, Bryce. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they're gonna come into this game and how they're gonna attack this Big Walnut.
We'll take a look at the player spotlight and going with some guys on the line this time. A little bit of a different look. You went with Danilion Taylor, who was that furious offensive protector in the University of South Florida commit. 15 pancakes, 1 sack allowed only, and 3 QB hits allowed. I mean, he is just so strong on that line.
Definitely, he bench presses defensive lineman for breakfast, Bryce. And he's a big guy. He's an enforcer. Like I say, like kind of those big guys in front of the clubs, the bouncers. He's going to push some guys around,
Taking a look at our keys to victory for Westerville North, and a lot of things are going to have to go right for them, but they are motivated coming in here. A couple of them here slowing the game down, but getting that push on defense as well, trying to hold back Nolan Burley and the multi-pronged attack of Big Walnut.
Definitely. You're right. Like, you're going to play at their pace. You know what I mean? Well, it seems it's going to be a little more slow. Them actually taking the air out the ball instead of Big Walnut. And once again, you got to get a push on defense. You got to make them kind of beat you anyway besides Burley, right? So they have a big test. Easier said than done. Many teams have tried so far, not many have success, but who knows? Any given Friday, right, Bryce?
Absolutely. Now taking a look as Big Walnut gets ready to take the field at our home team spotlight. Try to get him on the camera there, but that explosive offense, as you highlighted, as they make their way on now, and that opportunistic defense as well. They're so good at creating turnovers and using those turnovers to really propel themselves on the other side of the ball.
Definitely. It's just like you're like an 8-headed monster, right? There's so many weapons, so many things to look out for. I know defensive coordinators that face them the week of lose so much sleep because of it, right? So I got 10 for Burley, I got 10 for Stumpf. Yeah, Brody that can cause some problems. It's just how do you stop it, right? So it's one of those things that they're so multifaceted, it's so talented on offense, and that's not even talking about on the defense side of the ball. They're also multifaceted as well. This is a very balanced team all around. So, good things happen when you're a great team, right?
Taking a look at our player spotlight and another offensive lineman. And you're going with the guy who has almost an 85% block win rate, Jackson Parsons, the senior offensive lineman. And he really is the heart and soul of that offensive line.
Definitely. I don't think it's actually National Offensive Line Week. So, you got to show the big guys love up front, right? But, yeah, definitely. And it starts with him, right? He kind of motivates the other guys to push all the other guys around. And he does a great job doing that.
Before we honor our country,
and so,
remember the remarkable impact of Coach Raleigh DeLong.
Taking a break for a moment of silence.
The lives of Big Walnut students and athletes, we extend our love and support to his wife Carla and family, praying that they find strength in the memories of his extraordinary life. Coach DeLong's legacy will continue to motivate us. His family is located down at the south end. Our thoughts and prayers are with you on his passing this week.
Please remain standing for the playing of our national anthem. It will be conducted by Joe House, choir director, and assistant band director at Big Walnut High School. Colors are presented by VFW Post 8736 and American Legion 457.
So wrapping up the national anthem, getting ready for play as we're inside the final minute of the pregame. Let's take a look at our keys to victory for the Big Walnut Golden Eagles, and you identified a couple of them here. Establishing that run early on in the game, really getting those wheels churning, and then forcing those turnovers on defense, something they've been so good at so far this year.
Definitely, right? We know what they're going to do. They want to run all over you like they're a road runner in Looney Tunes, right? And once again, creating those turnovers on defense, that ferocious front seven is just, there's no words for it. But you know, these are what they have to do. This is what good teams do. They beat the teams that they should beat, right? So Big Walnut should have a great game, but we'll see how it goes. See how it goes, how they come out.
So final few moments before this one kicks off, and Big Walnut is nearing that conference championship point. And when you start getting close to that, I mean, the feelings start to change a little bit. You're later on in the season starting to feel that wear or tear. How does that kind of mindset change in practice as you get later on?
You know, kind of just change, you know, because, you know, like you said, that feeling starts to change, right? And you kind of start thinking, okay, we might probably get the conference championship, but now there's what else is next, right? As a team, now you're kind of thinking maybe playoff implications, stay healthy, doing the right things now in these games, so you can be healthy in November. That's what you want to do if you're Big Walnut. So it's kind of one of those things that you just want to be attentive. You want to practice the details right now, because when you get into the playoffs, you got to be able to click on all cylinders, Bryce.
Getting ready for kickoff, and Westerville North will be kicking it off to Big Walnut to start the game. If you're watching at home, it is Hall of Fame night here at the Eagles Nest. So showing out in front of the legends. If you don't remember from last time, this game went all the way into overtime. Big Walnut lining up for the PAT to tie it in overtime. There was an offsides. They converted the two-point conversion to win the game. So a punt fielded around the 13-yard line. Owen Pollock, the big body, is brought down right around the 22, and that's where they'll begin.
Warrior Childress returns the Big Walnut kick.
And that was just a good return right there. Got a little more than over past the 20, so it's good starting field position for Big Walnut. Bryce, to see how they're going to capitalize on it, though.
North has it there, 1st and 10.
So right around the 21.5 is where they spot him down. It is 61 degrees outside. It was balmy and humid in the last few weeks. Not anymore.
Yeah, summer is still a little longer than what we thought. I wasn't complaining, but it's good to kind of, like I said, bring out those,
And before we have our first official play of the game, we have a false start penalty against Big Walnut. That'll back them up 5 yards.
Gotta be sharper than that, Bryce, especially starting out. Let's see if they're able to lock in and hit that reset button.
Penalty brings up a 1st and 15.
One of the few places we go to that actually have the microphone on the official. It's very nice.
Definitely. It's luxury that we are very appreciative of.
So cutting up the middle all the way towards the 50-yard line. I'm sorry, Westerville North with the ball. Sorry, a little bit of confusion there.
I know, right? He's not used to seeing these Golden Eagles in the Golden, right? It's like, who are these guys over here?
And we got yellow and red right next to us as well in the coach's booth for the away stand. So, yeah, it got us.
There's a lot of very clashing colors.
Yeah. So that one being Caden Childress that actually made the run, and the penalty will move them up.
Penalty takes them all into Eagle territory. Spotted at the 42, 1st and 10.
So now with 3 wide receivers, 2 on the right, 1 on the left. He hands it off once more to Childress with speed, crosses the first down marker, spins out of a tackle, and is spun down about 5 yards across that first down marker. Some healthy yardage already in this game. 2 plays, 2 first downs.
Westerville North are just coming out aggressive, right? Being able to cut up on the defense early on. Let's see if Big Walnut can adjust. You know, it seems like they're kind of in backpedal mode for this first inaugural series on defense. See if they're able to tune up.
So now another chance at first down to Childress, who bounces through the line, picks up about 8 in the process, gets close to the first down marker, but it will bring up second.
Childress, he's hungry, right? Like we said in the pregame. This is a type of team that's hungry. They want to maybe spoil the party. You weren't thinking about this, but now you can be at your attention right now. Let's see if we got it. Let's see what we're going to do. I love the aggression of Westerville right now. They're looking to attack.
So a second and short scenario. Loading up the offensive line. Once again to Childress. Bounces out to his right. Strips 1, picks up about a yard before he's pushed out. It'll bring up 3rd and 1.
All right, see, like Big Walnut kind of caught their breath right there. They're in backpedal mode for a couple of those snaps. Didn't stop them completely, but they seem like they tuned up a little bit on their defense. Let's see if they're able to stop them right here to get 4th down. It'll be a pretty big one for me, Bryce.
Be a big coaching decision as well, whether or not you go for it or line up for that field goal in such a big spot.
If you're Westerville, you know, you got to go for it. This is 4th down right here. Kind of just a momentum's on your side. You've been able to push those guys around so far. Interesting to see what their play call is, though, right? Haven't been able to put the ball in the air. Maybe kind of catch the Big Walnut napping if possible. But we'll see how they're going to come out, especially with this timeout. We'll think about it a little longer.
I think they had the same question as well. What are we going to run here? It's a big spot. I mean, very first drive of the game, and you have the Big Walnut defense already on their heels. I mean, this could be a big momentum drive for them early on in the game to position themselves out in front here in the first quarter.
Definitely, definitely. Like I said, they're coming out, they're attacking. They're showing early on that they're not scared of anybody. We don't care who you played. You haven't played us yet. And that's what the mentality they're going to have in this game. They want to hang around. They want to do something as crazy as upsetting and go to the Eagles tonight.
So now on the 3rd down after the timeout, Idris Ali hands it off to Childress, who's brought down all the way back towards the original line of scrimmage. I think they will give him some forward progress, but that is a huge loss as it brings up 4th down.
Yeah, I think that was big TJ Miner on the play, pushing around. He kind of rolled his shoulders right there saying, hey, enough is enough, right? And that was great. Let's see what they come out in. See, they're coming out in the field goal right now.
So trying to come away with some points.
41-yard field goal attempt.
So from the 24, it'll end up being a 41-yarder. Instead, it's a timeout by Big Walnut. So really wanted to think that one over. I mean, perhaps suspecting some trickery or something.
Maybe they're kind of rethinking this one. Like I say, it's kind of 4th and awkward, right? And plus, where you're at, kind of on the doorstep of the red zone. Once again, you know, you have a Big Walnut that's pretty shocked right now. Seems like kind of tuned up the last 2 snaps, but if you're this close to territory, like Big Walnut's territory, like what are you gonna do? And what if you miss the field goal? You're even more back. It's kind of like this drive, great momentum, kind of just lost. So I'm interested to see. I wouldn't be surprised if they come out with a trick play right here, Bryce.
So they do end up lining up for the field goal, and it will not sneak in, just a bit low and right. So the score will stay even at 0. Stay with us for the first drive for the Big Walnut Golden Eagles.
Find more than a place to rent. Find a place to call home with the Champion Companies. Be part of a community where our team goes above and beyond because we want you to love where you live. Visit livewithchampion.com now and see how you can make the district at Berkshire your new home.
So after a 42-yard drive and an unsuccessful field goal, Big Walnut will line up for their first drive of the game. So Eli Stumpf handing it off to Nolan Burley, who gets wrapped up around the ankles and will pick up a yard before he's engulfed by the swarm.
Yeah, definitely. Westerville came out a nice little push right there, but, you know, see how it goes and what's the play call is going to be for Big Walnut moving forward. We all know the Burley train takes a little longer to rev up, but he usually gets going.
But now with the lone backfield, we'll see which way they decide to go. They'll look to the air this time to Burley. He'll get close to the first down marker, but he'll fall out of bounds just a few yards short, rather brought down. It'll bring up third down and not long at all.
Yeah, that's a great play call. Getting your playmakers in space and make a play. Overall, you know, like I said, when you have a player as dynamic as Burley, catching him in that mismatch, especially with the outside linebacker, great one. Great pickup.
In a big third down spot. The line to gain is the 30, so just a yard for them to go. To Burley. There's a flag pre-snap, and they're going to call a false start against Big Walnut.
Oof. That is not good. That's not good at all, Bryce. Turns third and short into third, and we got to have some work to do, right?
So both teams now dinged by the offsides, or the false start penalty, rather. Burley easily would have had the first down yardage.
Right, you see he's going to get a little more than that. We'll see how this changes the play call, Bryce.
And they'll look to the air this time. Rolling out to his right. No options. He'll take it himself. Gets the first down, and he just falls down. A smart play by Eli Stumpf on the rush just to tuck it and get down to avoid any contact.
And as you can see, like, Stumpf is just kind of making those poised plays, right? That's a nice heads-up play by your seasoned quarterback, right? He's seen a couple of things already. So for him to just get down, hey, just use his legs to pick up the first down. That's a great heads-up play by your quarterback right there, Bryce.
So now on the district at Berkshire, first down. Harrington in motion. The snap, Burley to the right. Cuts back with the juke, spins on his feet, brought down, a pickup of about 7.
Man, he really likes hitting that B button, right? The little spin right there, whoop, and that is the spin cycle. Let the defender hang out for drive right there, Bryce.
And a lot of people, they think that spin move, it's an elusive move, but truly it's a power move. The ability to turn that much momentum around your center of gravity. I mean, you can break so many tackles with that.
Definitely, he's able to kind of keep his balance as well. So when, as you see, the defenders kind of just fall off of him.
2 linebackers in the box. Burley is brought down in the backfield for a rare tackle for loss against Big Walnut. So kudos to the Westerville North defense. They've got to be excited about that one. It was Damon King, the defensive end, that came up with the tackle.
Definitely, and this is for Westerville. This is where you want them at, third and more obvious passing situations. They're able to get a push, able to create some uncomfortability for Big Walnut. Not that play particular, right? But that's how you can make them uncomfortable and give yourself a chance to win this game.
So an offsides penalty going against Westerville North. It's 3rd and 5. So decisions with that spot if they're giving them the first down.
Dead ball, encroachment, defense, number 27, 5
So they do give him the first down. A bailout for Big Walnut there on the offsides.
Definitely, definitely. And for Westerville, you got to stay disciplined, especially in uncharted territory, facing the kind of Goliath at their home spot. You got to pay attention to details, tune into those. That's how you win these kind of games right here.
So now after the penalty here on first down, to pass, pressure, two guys trying to get loose, crosses the line of scrimmage, picks up about 6 in the process. Here on first down, I mean, that's all you can really hope for, whether it's a pass or a run. I mean, that puts you well ahead of schedule.
Definitely. Joe Cool in the backfield today, right? He's not even sweating, right? He saw the pressure, he got out there, picked up what he can, and he took care of himself. What more do you want on first down? Like you said, he's ahead of schedule, and that's what veteran quarterbacks do, Bryce. They're able to make a play on their feet, get out of their conflicts, able to keep the drive alive in any way possible.
So trying to catch him off sides on the hard count. Now they're getting the play. 3 on the play clock. 2, 1. Now the snap. They get it off in time. Burley following some blockers, gets the first down. Hits the ground about 4 yards beyond.
That's classic, right? As you can see, they're kind of deciphering the defense, kind of dissecting them in the way. Burley saw the hole, cut up there. Big Walnut's doing Big Walnut things, right, Bryce?
Seems like that's all they know how to do.
And they do it well, and they do it well. Well, that's what happens when you have a balanced offense attack. You know, like you said, the defense has to be accountable for so many things, so many weapons, right? You got to stay true and honest. So it spreads your defense is pretty thin.
So Nolan blown up in the backfield, picks up not even a yard, I think, just stopped at the line of scrimmage. A big tackle from Trey Jackson, the middle linebacker, who was there in a hurry.
Yeah. Man, he brought the wood to that one, right? That was a crazy hit. This defense is showing some life, you know, showing some spark. They just got to stay disciplined. That third down was really crucial.
So here on second down and 10. Dropping back to pass, looking to the sideline. Harrington puts his head down, fights for extra yards, but he's not going to get any. It'll bring up 3rd and 2.
And there's once again great pitching catch by Stumpf and Harrington. They would try to get a couple, but he made it 3rd down and manageable instead of being 3rd and very long, right? So once again, this is in between. So as a defense, you're kind of on your heels. What are they going to call? Could be a run, could be a short pass. Let's see what they call her here, Bryce.
Trying really hard to draw this defensive line offside. It's not going to work this time, as the 3rd and 3 scenario will come to a play. 3 on the play clock. The snap rolling out to his left, looking for a receiver. Trouble in the backfield, but he's looking for the first down marker. He'll get close, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. He'll be about a half yard short.
And credit to the Westerville defense right there. It seemed like they put a lid on the offense. Stumpf didn't really see anything he really was in love with. He kind of tried to dissect, as you can see, and he just was not a go for any of his options. Tried to pick up something with his feet right there, Bryce, but did not have the success like he had in the past so far this game. But it seems like the offense is still out there.
That's what it looks like, going with some more power. This time in the I formation. Stumpf under center, 1 wide receiver out to his right. It's Brody Hatfield. Burley will get the first down and more as he's inside the 30, brought down at the 26.
And it's just like this offense loves stepping up to the plate when it comes to these type of situations. Either it's a short 2-point conversions, or when they kind of get the signal that they're staying on. It seems like they get a little more moxie on the field. And as you can see right there, they like to rise up to the challenge. So kudos to the Big Walnut offense right there. Show them, hey, we're not done yet.
So on the play action, trouble in the backfield, and it's a huge stack. Eli Stumpf brought all the way down by the 38-yard line. That one brought down by a couple of jerseys.
Man, right, there's a couple guys in that backfield as soon as the ball was snapped. seems like this Westerville defense is cranking up the dial a little bit, trying to make this Big Walnut offense a little more uncomfortable. Kudos to them for doing that right there, putting them way behind schedule. So let's see how Big Walnut responds after being pushed way back behind the sticks.
The line to gain being the 16-yard line. It's 2nd and 19.
I haven't seen Big Walnut this uncomfortable in a little bit, Bryce.
And a timeout called by Westerville North, their second as we're here in the first quarter. Stay with us as we take a quick break.
Find more than a place to rent. Find a place to call home with the Champion Companies. Be part of a community where our team goes above and beyond because we want you to love where you live. Visit livewithchampion.com now and see how you can make the district at Berkshire your new home.
So after the timeout, the scenario is 2nd and 19. The line to gain is the 16-yard line for Big Walnut. Huge sack set him back 9. Play action again, sensing the pressure. Wide receiver screen to Brody Hatfield. Picks up a couple of yards, but it'll bring a long third down to the table.
Yeah, it seems like that's kind of like a little bit of a drop in the bucket right there, right, Bryce? Not enough to really make it more manageable. See what they come into. There's not a lot of third down and 15 plays you can draw up on the board and sand, but let's see what they can come up with. Stumpf is pretty talented. Maybe they can play a little bit backyard football right now.
So 3rd and 18 is what it's officially ruled. A play action again to pass. No time. 4 jerseys around him before he's finally pushed out near the original line of scrimmage. Not going to be nearly enough, as I assume they'll likely send on the punting squad. It'll be 4th and 12 or so.
Yeah, can't really can't come on the power eye in this one, right, Bryce? So you can, but that will definitely be a lot of fans would definitely be scratching their heads on that one.
So they haven't sent on the special teams unit yet, not that I'm aware of. Sometimes they have Nolan kick the punts, but I certainly don't think I see a field goal kicker.
Definitely don't see one now.
Oh, this may be a timeout by Big Walnut, as there's just 2 on the play clock, and indeed that's what ends up happening. So now both teams left with only 1 timeout, as we have 3:13 remaining here in the first quarter, and 4 timeouts already in the first. Not something you see too often.
Not something you see. Hey, you know what they say? You can't take them home with you, right? So I guess you got to burn them. But yeah, definitely it's going to be interesting how they're going to play this second quarter, especially if, maybe if a team gets the ball late in the second quarter, not going to leave a lot of time or flexibility to do anything much with clock management. So, hey, well, like we said, you can't take them home with you. So see how it goes.
So getting a look at the personnel for Big Walnut. Stumpf still in the game at quarterback, lining up in what looks like a shotgun formation.
Interesting to see what's going to happen out here. Maybe they feel like they have a play in the sand that we haven't seen yet, or maybe they've seen something up top. But it's looking like they're going to roll the dice on this one. All right.
That's what it's looking like. Offense still in. 4th and 13. They have to make it to the 16-yard line, well inside the red zone. They'll go to pass. Pressured. Throwing towards the end zone all alone. And it's a touchdown, Gavin Harrington. What was a bad situation turns into a touchdown.
Man, look at this guy. Here's a guy who just is able to dissect the defense. Here we thought back here he was dead in the mud, but look at that. Not even a defender 5 yards around him. And that's just like I said, that's what happens when you have a veteran quarterback back there calling the plays. This whole series, he just had the poise. He knew what he was going to do. Ice in his veins. Joe Cool, too cool for school, Bryce.
I think that was probably the single best play I've ever seen Eli Stumpf make. I mean, just allowing that play to develop and then looking across the middle. Gavin Harrington doesn't have anyone within 10 yards of him.
Right, and it was like, I feel like everybody was sweating in the stadium besides him. You kind of looking at each other like, right? But look, once again, Stumpf knows what he's doing, and for him to able to trust his teammates, trust himself to make that play, just once again shows how seasoned of a player he is and how he's maturing as a football player. You know, he's a real special player, Bryce. Give him his kudos, man, but it takes 11 people to score a touchdown. And shout out to the offensive line as well. Be able to protect him as long as he can. That was a very long play, you know, so.
Find more than a place to rent. Find a place to call home with the Champion Companies. Be part of a community where our team goes above and beyond because we want you to love where you live. Visit livewithchampion.com now and see how you can make the district at Berkshire your new home.
So after that one, Big Walnut leads the way 7-0 with 3:06 remaining here in the first quarter, going for it on 4th and 12. They talk about Dan Gamble in the NFL, but how about Curtis Gamble here on the Big Walnut sideline?
Right, no fear. Oh, wow.
So getting away, that one could have been dangerous. I mean, he got 35 yards in the process, but if he wouldn't have gotten taken down there, I think he would have been to the house.
Definitely. He had some complications early on in the kickoff, too. If he never would have had those, who would have known how far he would have gone? But once again, kudos to Big Walnut's special teams for able to put a lid on that. That could have been really ugly. Nothing more than maybe a kick return after a play like that, right?
So they rule him down on the 36-yard line. Phenomenal field position if they want to equalize here.
We're able to move the chains a little in that first series to see if they can find that same success in this second one, Bryce.
So a break in the action as they send off an offensive lineman. Substitution. A lot of things can happen there. Sometimes equipment violations, things of that sort.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Maybe it's just a play. Yeah, it happens. It's football, right?
Handing it off to the running back who struggles to get a yard. I think he'll just get back up to the line of scrimmage before he's brought down. Childress unsuccessful on that run, but he has had a phenomenal night so far.
Yeah, right. That was kind of very surprising. I was kind of expecting a little more push from up front, but once again, it seemed like the Big Walnut defense kind of fine-tuned, sat on the sideline, able to make those adjustments. Let's see if they're able to heed those defensive coordinator words.
So Hatfield pressing the doubled up receivers. They have 4 total at their disposal and a man on his right hip for protection, instantly throwing it on the wide receiver screen, finding the receiver before he's wrestled out near the first down marker, but it's not going to be enough as it brings up 3rd and short.
And this Westerville offense is having success, but it's consistency. That's what they have to have, consistency. But it's nice to see, like, hey, the quarterback threw the ball out there, good pitch and catch. 3rd and short is definitely better than 3rd in California. So let's see how they're going to come out. You know, if they kind of run right here, I wouldn't be surprised they go for it on 4th down.
So it is 3rd and 1.
3rd and 1 for the Warriors.
Trip receivers on the right side. They've been going to the screen early and often, but instead they go to Childress, who has nowhere to go. Clint Stover off the line in a heartbeat, and it's a tackle for a huge loss.
And that was a Big Walnut defensive party right there. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 yellow jerseys around him. And it seems like every time that the Westerville comes out in this 3rd and short trying to run the ball, Big Walnut is just saying, no way, Jose, right?
So what was a 3rd and 1 is now a 4th and 5 as they line up in the punt formation.
And that's just deflating, right? It's like you had a little success moving a little bit of the chains and had a good, kick return, but nothing really coming of that. It was kind of unfortunate for Westerville.
So the snap is stopped, and he's telling Clint Stover to get back. So a substitution, and we'll play this again.
Yeah, it's looking like Big Walnut's kind of. Oh, wow.
So a line drive punt right over the head of Hatfield. It's going to roll. We'll see how it bounces. They'll down him at the 1-yard line.
Wow. Great special teams. Great cover.
Oh,
right
no.
there.
Are they going to rule that a touchback?
Oh, that is unfortunate right there.
And they're frustrated. We have the benefit of the instant replay. I mean, maybe the
yeah, but see
where
how
his foot was. Yeah.
See if he grabbed it. His foot was on that back line, and that is a tough one.
Yeah.
Oh man. It's one of those things you gotta be mindful on special teams. It's so easy to get in that mindset just to pick it up. You think you got it, but once again, your feet.
There's no warning track like baseball.
Definitely. His heels hit that back line, and you just hate to see that one.
An offset backfield with 3 wide receivers. They'll look to pass. Brody Hatfield over the middle on the slant. Will be brought down at the 27-yard line for a pickup of 7.
Look at Brody. They look, all right. Show him like, hey, eat my weeds today. He's bigger than what you think sometimes, man. I'm telling you, that kid packs a punch.
Brody Hatfield with 24 catches on the season. He is the team's catch leader.
Definitely. And you can just see the chemistry between him and Stumpf. You definitely can tell that they run routes in the dark.
So a personal foul penalty going against Westerville North will send them way forward and give them the first down as the ball now sits on the 42.
And once again, Bryce, you gotta stay disciplined if you're Westerville. You can't give up those easy yards if you're Big Walnut. They're gonna make you pay every time.
So lining up in the same formation. This time they'll hand it off to Burley, who's evading some tacklers, splits the 2, looking for some more blockers, hits a man with a full head of steam and comes down across the 30-yard line. A huge run from Nolan Burley. We've seen him chunking away so far tonight, but this is the first big explosive run of the night we've seen from him so far.
The patience of his running tonight, right? See, like, once again, like, we kind of look at each other like, oh, brother, it's not going to look too good. But he was able to split the seam and turn nothing into something, right? That was amazing.
So that will bring an end to the first quarter. Stay with us for second quarter action coming up next.
This place means everything to us. This is where we come together. We do all of our birthdays out here. We grill hamburgers and hot dogs. We fish. I was about to give up. I was about to think that the property wasn't going to become mine. Rural First specializes in solving the problems. I made the call, and the rest is history. It was done. It made everything easy. Questions answered, walked me through the process. It was done. When I'm here, just feel peace. That's all it means to me. Peace.
So a Big Walnut first down as they are inside the 30-yard line after the Nolan Burley run here in the second quarter. Stumpf will look to pass and sacked for the second time tonight.
Man, right? It's like he came off the edge right there. Not even touched. Wow, look at that. Man, that Westerville North defense is they're furious. They're mad. You can definitely tell. They're not letting anything they're not just handed to Big Walnut. But once again, you know, they did everything right last time. It was 4th down in California. They got to stay disciplined. They had to make use of these great opportunities that they have.
So after the sack, it loses them 7 yards. But a timeout is called by Big Walnut. That will be their final timeout.
Well, you can't take them home with you, like you said, Bryce, right?
Yeah. So with the lead here on the 2nd and 17, they're on their own 34-yard line. The line to gain will be the 17. And we are starting to inch closer and closer towards Big Walnut field goal territory. But a big discussion here as they need the yardage. In a scenario like this, you'd think, you know, let's just try to get half, right? Try to get half of that yardage, approach 3rd down with, you know, a little bit easier odds for ourselves and pick up that rush.
Definitely. Wouldn't be surprised if he may come out on the screen right now, even maybe a halfback draw. Somebody to catch the defense off their guard and try to get half of it back, right? Make it 3rd down and more manageable. Because right now it's 2nd and very uncomfortable.
So now with 3 linebackers, Westerville North looking to stop the run, but unsuccessful this time, back over the original line of scrimmage, just short of the 20-yard line as he's downed right around the 21. The pile will finally get him down.
And like I said, man, Burley's going to do Burley things, and like it's hitting the B button once again. I'm going to start a count for this game. It's something like it's 2, but oh man, that's just a backbreaker, right? For Westerville, you kind of had him back there. It seemed like you were about to come out and hit him another punch, and then the Big Walnut typhoon just comes over you. So let's see what Big Walnut comes to his play call right now, Bryce. It seems they have a lot of success kind of throwing anything at the board.
And Stumpf pressured on the blitz over the middle, trying to cut back now and into the end zone. It's a touchdown.
That's just not fair, Bryce. Oh my goodness. The way he was able to shake and bake like he's Ricky Bobby, that is nice.
And just looking for his options, finds a man, and he took care of the rest.
Wow. Let's see what this flag is about. It looks like this touchdown is going to stand as the great.
So from the kickoff, the 15-yard penalty will be enforced. The roughing the passer penalty.
Seems like a little bit of frustration for the Westerville defense, and I definitely understand. You know, it seemed like they had a lot of good plays. It's just, once again, the consistency. Not be able to string things together.
And so now more flags. Discussion from the Zebras.
And sometimes, you know, this point in the season, you know, you haven't had so much success. You know, especially you had a good team. So, like, they had a lot of opportune moments, not able to capitalize. You can kind of see sometimes tempers boil over, right? But you got to stay clear-headed if you want to stay in this game. You're not out. You're only down 2 scores. Offense has had somewhat success, but
so Owen Piles will line up for a little bit longer of a kick.
Oh, my bad. I thought.
Oh, they're going to roll out. Brody Hatfield was looking for a receiver, but has trouble. He's just going to gun it all the way across the line of scrimmage, but Owen Pollock can't come up with it. Flags all over the place.
Now, that was a lot of events in a short period of time, right, Bryce? It seemed like he just played jackpot right there. Kind of just threw it up. Said somebody's down there somewhere.
They've been so successful on those so far this year. It was bound that one of them wasn't going to go their way. So an ineligible man downfield is what they end up getting him with. So Big Walnut leading the way 13-0 over Westerville North.
Find more than a place to rent. Find a place to call home with the Champion Companies. Be part of a community where our team goes above and beyond because we want you to love where you live. Visit livewithchampion.com now and see how you can make the district at Berkshire your new home.
So a Big Walnut touchdown extends their lead to 13 now. The 2-point conversion attempt unsuccessful as there's 10:25 remaining here in the second.
Yeah, once again, that Big Walnut offense is just suffocating sometimes, Bryce. Able to kind of come out, have success kind of all over the field. And let's see if their defense is able to tune in and kind of play some complimentary football.
So Owen Piles lining up for the kickoff.
But for Westerville, you know, once again, you're still in this game, you know. Only down 2 scores. Ooh, oh.
And he muffs it out of bounds. So that'll pin him at the 2-yard line. A tough break for them.
You know, when it rains, it pours, right, Bryce? And that one is just unfortunate. You got to come in with that one, field it. But, wow. For him to muff it out of bounds, that is just unfortunate events. Pushes him back, way back. And if you were feeling the heat, you definitely are feeling it now if you're in Westerville. So they have a long way to go if they want to score. So hopefully, you know, right now they're probably just thinking about getting some space to get away for their punter. But this is not ideal for them on offense.
So handing it off once again to Childress, just trying to buy him some breathing room. It brings up 2nd down. He picks up a couple of yards. And folks, I am excited to say that Jackson Bowers scored that touchdown. I didn't have him on my roster originally at the beginning of the season. During the basketball season, Jackson had a knee injury that, you know, was pretty serious and pretty scary at the time when it happened. So I am just elated to see that Jackson Bowers is not only in the game, but scoring a touchdown too.
That's great, Bryce. You know, injuries are so unfortunate. For him to kind of battle back, there's so much work you get to do for rehab, and for him to come back, and that's just a really capitalize that, hey, I'm back. And I'm just wishing him a continued recovery and know how it feels to keep doing good. So stay healthy out there, keep doing great things, bud.
An injury timeout called. And it was an interesting look last year, both on the basketball court and the football field, because last year with the combination of Owen Pollock and Jackson Bowers, they really ran a 2 tight end front and really interchangeably used each other as a receiver or as a blocker, also subbing in for one another. But you also kind of saw that on the basketball court as well, where they're interchanging as power forward and center. I mean, just real strong frontline guys.
Yeah, that's like, you know, you can kind of just tell, you know, enforcers, right? They kind of can do both. That's what that tight end position is. And like you said, power forward, center, just you can tell by their size or agility on their field. They kind of remind me of some deer, right? Big, agile. You don't want to have your headlights on them late at night because they will definitely run you over. Definitely stay put. You guys are big, stocky guys. And once again, you know, it's just amazing he's able I know his journey was tough. For him to come back healthy, come back, and especially in front of his home crowd, be able to score a touchdown. I just know that's a little something for you, and I'm just so happy for him.
Most definitely. Very happy to have him back on the sidelines here. But a man coming off, it's Tylen Brown for Westerville North on his own 2 feet, though.
Always a good sign, Bryce. Always a good sign.
So it brings up 3rd and 5 on the 8-yard line. handing it off up the middle and clothesline to the ground near the line of scrimmage. And that'll bring up 4th down well inside of their own territory.
Yeah, Bryce, once they had that muff kick return, we kind of knew they would be in the awkward position. And it seemed like they got a little bit of breathing room for their punter, but not too much. Unfortunate, especially when you want to put some points on the board for Westerville, but now they got to trust their defense once again to make a stop.
So back to receive is Brody Hatfield. Westerville North punting out of their own end zone. But a flag is thrown. They'll discuss it along the sidelines.
It'd be a backbreaker if it's a false start, Bryce.
Now the crew chief getting the signal.
Dead ball. Disconcerting act. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Results in 1st down.
So a disconcerting act. Haven't heard that one before. I think they're referring to maybe the line the defense makes.
Bryce, I'm pretty well equipped in my football knowledge. Like, once again, I haven't heard this concerning acting ever. So, that's an interesting call right there. You don't hear that every day. But, hey.
That's up there with unpalpably fair act.
But, hey.
Words you never hear on a football field, right? Yeah.
Exactly. But, hey, kudos to Westerville, able to get another breath into this offense. See what they're able to do with this opportunity.
So does buy him a District at Berkshire 1st down here. This time lining up in the pistol formation, the first time we've seen that so far tonight. They'll give it to Childress on the handoff.
And it just seemed like this Warrior offense has not had any success after that first series running the ball. It seems like Big Walnut just has said no more, right? It seemed like that front seven is kind of woken up. Kind of had that first series kind of lullabied them to sleep, but they're up now and they are ferocious. I know Childress is you can see the frustration is running sometimes. He just can't get anything past the line of scrimmage.
So an injury timeout, not sure who it is just yet or for what side. So we'll have a discussion. It's a 2nd and 10 situation. Ball on the 13. All right, lining up, and we are getting ready to play football once again after the brief pause.
2nd and 11 for the Warriors.
Up to the 12, they'll have to get it. And a flag is thrown.
Dead ball. Delay game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
All righty. Oh, man, 5 yards forward, 5 yards backwards. Right, Bryce? Man.
So the 2nd down situation is now 2nd and 15 as they're backed all the way up. Clock continues to tick.
Takes the ball back. Brings up a 2nd and 15 for the Warriors.
So they're coming out to the trips on the field side, Bryce.
And they will look to the pass, and we have a safety. Tackled in the backfield. TJ Miner responsible for that one.
Oh, man, once again, TJ Miner coming up with a major play on defense. Wow, look how you just burst through the line right there, Bryce. That is ferocious. Once again, this Big Walnut front seven. You just can't contain them. You can't do anything with these cats, and they're forcers. They're bullies. They like to push you around. And wow, TJ Miner's doing TJ Miner things right there.
So now 15 points for Big Walnut to Westerville North 0, and the unsuccessful 2-point conversion, they end up getting it back on the defensive end.
Man, once again, complimentary football. Everybody's taking care of everybody here at Big Walnut, and that is just so unfortunate for the Warriors, right? Just seemed like, you know, kind of had a little bit of breath, kind of caught a little break right there, and man, to kind of come up with a negative 2 plays on the scoreboard for you, that is back-breaking, heartbreaking, spirit-breaking, right? And that's just unfortunate. The Cedar defense is able to come out and respond. Always interesting when come out these safety punts, you know. But it's, wow. Kudos to Big Walnut. I haven't seen a safety in the game in a long time, so wow.
So discussion from the kicking team. They're ready to kick this one away. Big Walnut, after the safety, will take over, and a chance to further this lead even more. A low kick. Peters across the 40-yard line before it's fielded by the fullback. That one, Tiquan Bunting, that took it. So well across the 50-yard line, and they'll begin in Westerville North territory here on a District at Berkshire first down.
And that was an interesting call for the squib, you know, especially in that situation. Definitely, maybe had a little more power, could definitely maybe cause some more complications, but once again, kudos to Big Walnut special teams for them to be able to field that ball and now have really good field position for the Golden Eagles.
So coming set with 2 wide receivers out to his left. We'll hand it off to Burley, who busts through the line of scrimmage and picks up a few before he's brought down. It brings up second and medium.
Once again, the patience by Burley. Not really turning the corner, kind of waiting for it. Didn't really come right there, but once again, you can definitely tell these Big Walnut skill players, they have a little seasoning on them. They've been around the block a couple times, and they're kind of churning. They're churning right now. They've been firing on all cylinders these last couple weeks, but I don't know. It just seemed like they took a step in practice this week. They look poised.
Burley going wide, stiff arms a man and is brought down at the 30-yard line. A flag comes out. That may be a face mask potentially. They'll discuss. The announcement should come in just a second as they.
Oh, yep.
That one going against Westerville North. We'll take another look at that one.
Oh, brother.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can't do that, Bryce.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
I think that one, it may not even have been intentional. I mean, just trying to get his arm out, get a hand on something, and unfortunately got a handful of face mask in that one right in front of the official, too.
Unfortunate. It's kind of been the theme of the night for the Warriors, unfortunately. Once again, put their defense in a very particular situation.
So now on a District at Berkshire first down. Burley will try, and he's pushed back. He'll lose a yard.
Number 3, Nolan Burley.
Once again, Burley's able to kind of find a little seam, not able to turn up all the way, but let's see how they come out of this next play call, Bryce.
2nd and 10 on the 15-yard line, so they can get a first down without scoring. Once again to Burley, believing in him. Brought down at the 9-yard line. So that'll be a pickup of 6, and it'll be 3rd and 4.
That was a nice trap to the right side, Bryce. Textbook. As you can see, the Big Walnut offensive line just having a great push. Having a great day so far, besides giving up those 2 sacks. But definitely running the ball. Burley's once again, I mean, the equipment manager must love working for these guys, right? Especially on offense, because jerseys don't really get that dirty.
Procter & Gamble's best friend. So now 3rd and 4 on the 9. They'll look to pass, stepping up in the pocket. He'll pick up the first down, looking toward the goal line now, and he'll scoot in right across the pylon. Touchdown, Big Walnut.
And once again, the boys of Stumpf able to look at going through his progressions. Not there, and not there. And he just picks up with his feet. That's just been a theme, right? Look at that. A determined runner, right? He just knows, hey, I'm right here. Let me get a little oomph in there and able to punch it through.
And mind you, this is the quarterback that had -9 rushing yards up until game 3 of the season, and in game 4 came up with those huge touchdowns. But this has been a fairly recent development and a great one for Big Walnut.
Definitely. It's just something you have to keep account for once again for defense. And it's just so frustrating for the Warriors because they've been playing great coverage, but just haven't been able to keep a lid on the legs of Stumpf.
Lining up for the 2-point conversion. Stumpf rolls out and he finds Jackson Bowers in the end zone for the 2-point conversion. Big Walnut leads 23-0.
Jackson Bowers.
So we'll take a quick break. Stay with us for the remainder of the second quarter coming up next.
Find more than a place to rent. Find a place to call home with the Champion Companies. Be part of a community where our team goes above and beyond because we want you to love where you live. Visit livewithchampion.com now and see how you can make the district at Berkshire your new home.
So after the touchdown from Eli Stumpf, picking it up on his feet, Big Walnut leads 23-0 over Westerville North with 4 remaining here in the second quarter. The kickoff fielded at the 10-yard line, but once again having trouble with it as he did last time. This time able to keep it in play, though, as he stumbles across the 20-yard line, finally rung up and brought down at the 25.
Gonna hate to be him in practice next week, man. They're gonna be doing a lot of catching the ball and fielding drills because he has been having a little bit of trouble. That's like the 3rd time tonight, right, Bryce?
Yeah. Perhaps the first cold night, you know, have to work in the hands a little bit.
Definitely. It's a little hard to do. It's sting on the finger a little extra. So, you know, once again though, you gotta catch the ball. Especially you're the returner back there, but. Yeah, that's something that we might see now as since we got a real kind of warm front this whole season. You know, as it gets colder, it's interesting to see how these offenses adapt.
So a low snap is picked up, looking for a receiver, cutting back, almost intercepted by Brady Taylor.
Definitely, it seemed like he had him beat, but it was just kind of underthrown ball right there, and wasn't really able to make a play. Almost got intercepted right there, but luckily hit the carpet for it. Big Walnut was able to make a play. But definitely you can see the Warriors they're aggressive. They want to score, at least put something on the board, right?
They had a very good first drive, and I think that's been the theme so far this season is, you know, teams have had answers in the opening script the first 10 or 15 plays or so, but once they work into that outside of that first drive, I mean, it starts to get really difficult.
And it's kudos to the Big Walnut defense. You know, they're adjusting, right? They're just not standing there. They're making those adjustments each and every time they go to the sideline, and it just seems like each and every time they go to the sideline to regroup, the defense gets stronger and stronger as the game goes on. So that's interesting to see. You know, that's what great defenses do, right? Be malleable to what their offense is trying to give at them.
So the final timeout of the half called by Westerville North, and that's final timeout for either side. So the scenario is 2nd and 10. So the Warriors are spotted down on their own 25-yard line.
Time in on the field finds the Warriors with a 2nd and 10.
So now back to the action, doubled up receivers on the left side, one wide out. As they look to pass on the screen, absolutely rocked in the backfield. Quarterback slow to get up, but the pass is complete, good for a first down and about 10 yards more. So a fantastic play, but boy, did he take one.
He definitely paid for that completion right there. Wow.
Still slow to get up. Man, took a shot. And quarterback Idris Ali all night long has been so good trying to find those receivers, getting the ball off, but just pummeled on that throw.
Yeah, and make sure everything's okay down there, Bryce. It seemed like he definitely took a nice shot into that chest region, so you just want to make sure everything's okay, especially as a quarterback. It's that area is exposed a lot, especially throwing the ball. So, yeah, but wow.
So he is on his feet, making his way over to the sideline with no assistance from any coaches or anything. That's good to see, but
yeah, it seemed like he got the wind knocked out of him.
That's what I was thinking too, yeah.
Stewart is the injured Warrior, was able to walk off for his own power.
Let's see how this Warriors offense responds. You know, kind of your second string quarterback in can kind of throw some things off rhythm, but they made a great play outside of him taking a shot. See if they're able to capitalize. Oh, brother.
So trouble in the backfield. He rolls out though, takes another shot. And penetration is there from Big Walnut.
And this Big Walnut defense just smells blood in the water, right? They're just coming after this Warriors offense, and it seems like this Warriors offense just doesn't have an answer right now. And they gotta be careful. You know, it seems like they're bringing the heat, and they're not. The Warriors gotta be careful. That's all I can say, right, Bryce? They are coming at them.
2nd down, 10 for the Warriors.
So 2nd and 10 after the hit. Quarterback Stewart back in the game, looking to the screen. At the line of scrimmage, brought down as it brings up 3rd down.
Once again, bottled up by the Big Walnut defense. Nowhere to go in that screen. Everything was in front of them. The pursuit, sharks and minnows, makes it very 3rd down and very uncomfortable. Something that the Warriors are kind of used to at this point, unfortunately, for their offense.
So here on 3rd down, they'll have a ways to go, about 9.
See, like they had some success, kind of throwing that ball out, kind of into that short out. Maybe to try to make a play. But let's see how they goes. Ooh, nice halfback draw.
So brought down on a huge stop there as it brings up 4th down.
And once again, that furious front 7 just saying no nonsense on defense. And that's just a great Big Walnut stand right there. Wow.
So here on 4th down, as we approach the 2-minute mark, they'll punt it away.
You know, that Big Walnut defense is just so stingy, Bryce. They just don't like giving up much. And for them to kind of come out here and it just seemed like they've been on 10 ever since that first series.
So Brody Hatfield rolling out to the right, picking up a couple of blockers, changing the field, and brought down at the 46-yard line. That's where Big Walnut will begin.
And great cut up by Brody right there. Uh-oh. So there's some laundry on the field.
Some late flags coming out.
The flag. Sideline warning. Westerville North. First down.
So just a sideline warning against Westerville North. No harm, no foul there. It does bring up a district at Berkshire first down.
First down for the Eagles from their own 46.
So now on their own 46-yard line, they'll get this drive going. Burley splits the line of scrimmage, one-on-one. Picks up another tackler, cuts back the other way. Nolan Burley, one play, one touchdown.
And out of the park, that was a home run right there, Bryce. Talking about taking the air out of the Warriors defense. Burley is just churning away. Wow.
So breaking away from the defensive back, ended up coming in contact with the man covering Brody Hatfield, but changing direction once again. He went untouched.
Right, that's always a good sign. The only person you touch is on your own team right there. Burley is just doing once again Burley things, and wow, he was able to cut up, make a couple moves on the outside right there, Bryce. Man, this offensive line is able to get a great push. Burley's able to make great plays after he gets after that second level. And this offense is very, very dangerous if you don't be attentive to all the weapons that they have.
So they back it up 5 yards after the false start. So we'll try again. Owen Piles on the PAT attempt. And we have a 30-piece here at the Eagles Nest. Big Walnut extends the lead 30-0 over Westerville North. Stay with us.
Find more than a place to rent. Find a place to call home with the Champion Companies. Be part of a community where our team goes above and beyond because we want you to love where you live. Visit livewithchampion.com now and see how you can make the district at Berkshire your new home.
Right in the wealth, man.
So it's Nolan Burley's 18th rushing touchdown of the season and his first of the night. Big Walnut leading the way 30-0 over Westerville North.
It just has to be so frustrating for defensive coordinators, right? Where are we going to get cut by? Is it going to be Burley? Is it going to be Stumpf with his legs? Or is it going to be one of the plethora of receivers? Like this receiver and tight end room for Big Walnut is so deep. Especially with Bowers coming back. Wow.
There is a hold that'll bring the returning team back just a bit. 1:24 remaining here in the second quarter. Again, neither side with any timeouts. They'll have to work the ball downfield quickly as they're on their own 15-yard line. Looking to the sidelines, most likely, if they want a chance at points here in the first half.
Oh, looks like some extracurriculars on the field right now.
So flags everywhere, some extra curriculars happening towards the top part of your screen there.
It's easy. You know, the Warriors, like I said, it's just been a frustrating night in total. Not able to get anything going so far. Seemed like they had some opportune moments, kind of shot themselves in the foot. I could definitely see some tempers flaring, but you know, this is where you got to kind of take those moral victories. What are we trying to work on? What do we want to get better as a team? And right now, I feel like our goal, if I was on that side, like let's just put some points on the board, even if it's 3 or 7, right? Something to talk about at half.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense, number 3. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense, number 2. Those penalties will offset. The play counts. Second down.
So offsetting penalties will lead to second down, sorry. 2nd and 5 is what they'll spot it.
Second 5 for the Warriors.
So now with 2 wide receivers, 1 man in the backfield. Stewart has trouble with the snap in the backfield, falls down on top of it, and there's a late hit they'll call.
Yeah, that is that's unfortunate. You know, like A for effort, right? But you know, once he kind of got the ball, his knee was on the ground. You gotta, and it's hard to do in that situation. But you gotta kind of steer away from him because that was definitely you wasn't really a football player in that position right there.
Defense, number 37. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
So it does make it a district at Berkshire first down after the penalty. 49 seconds remaining here in the second quarter.
Let's see what the Warriors come out with right here, Bryce. Would be shot. They try to take a shot once again. Maybe try to catch that Big Walnut defense napping.
So be sure to stay with us through halftime as we bring you the band shows for both sides. We'll also bring you the Complete Air Systems Heating and Cooling LLC halftime show. As they'll look to pass towards the sideline, lining it up over the head of the receiver, Brody Hatfield, looking for the interception, but it wasn't meant to be that time. It brings up second down.
Seems like the receiver on that play more DB than anything, right, Bryce? Once again, you know, you kind of have to take that shot if you're on offense in this position, close the half, but, you know, just pretty good that they didn't throw an interception right there because that could have been really bad. But, man, you got to kind of take one of those Ave Marias now and then, especially when you're kind of down big right here, Bryce.
Indeed so, as they just have 44 seconds remaining here. Would take a heave to get him down there. So now back to the line of scrimmage. Here on second down, they'll hand it off. Childress, nowhere to go. Taken down in the backfield. Give the tackle credit to Cole Heisel.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised here, Bryce, if they kind of just let this clock go on for this one. Kind of pack it up and figure out what they want to do on for the second half.
Certainly a lot to talk about going into the locker room, and I think for both sides, for Westerville North, trying to figure out how to get some points on the board, but for Big Walnut, trying to keep those emotions intact.
Gotta stay locked in for the second half. You still got a second half to play. Still a lot of football to be played, Bryce.
So that will bring an end to the first half of football. Both sides are on their way to the locker room. Stay with us for the band show and the halftime show coming up next.
Happy Halloween!
I'm an adult learner, so I had to balance my work and my school. And the fact that NC State has online classes, hybrid classes, especially the instructors are very flexible with allowing you time to get all your work in.
This place means everything to us. This is where we come together. We do all of our birthdays out here. We grill hamburgers and hot dogs, we fish. I was about to give up. I was about to think that the property wasn't going to become mine. Rural First specializes in solving the problems. I made the call, and the rest is history. It was done. It made everything easy, questions answered, walked me through the process. It was done. When I'm here, just feel peace. That's all it means to me. Peace.
Live and free coverage of Big Walnut Athletics, proudly presented by the Sunbury Fraternal Order of Eagles, serving the community since 1898.
Received our invitation. Come in. Please don't mind the dust. It's not often we have such lively visitors. Make yourself comfortable. altitude can be such a drain on the spirit. Lonely years spent calling out from the shadows with not a soul to hear us. We beg you, extend your stay. It could be the choice of a lifetime. Now, don't look so grim. An afterlife here is not a curse. In fact, it can be thrilling. We can all be quite the scream when given the chance.
Ladies and gentlemen, the pride of Big Walnut, Golden Eagle Marching Band, would like to open with a 2000 blockbuster hit from Bon Jovi, featuring trumpet soloist Camden Hibbett. Here is It's My Life. We now move on to the iconic career of Sir Elton John. In 1970, this single was Elton John's first top 10 hit, featuring horn soloist Connor Chadwick. This is Your Song. pride of Big Walnut Golden Eagle Marching Band.
Happy Halloween!
I'm an adult learner, so I had to balance my work and my school. And the fact that NC State has online classes, hybrid classes, especially the instructors are very flexible with allowing you time to get all your work in.
This place means everything to us. This is where we come together. We do all of our birthdays out here. We grill hamburgers and hot dogs. We fish. I was about to give up. I was about to think that the property wasn't going to become mine. Rural First specializes in solving the problems. I made the call, and the rest is history. It was done. It made everything easy, questions answered, walked me through the process. It was done. When I'm here, just feel peace. That's all it means to me. Peace.
Live and free coverage of Big Walnut Athletics, proudly presented by the Sunbury Fraternal Order of Eagles, serving the community since 1898.
Westerville North, and what started out with what looked like it was going to be competitive in that first drive, 42-yard drive that ended up with a field goal that was unsuccessful for Westerville North, ended up being a blowout through one half.
Yeah, nothing really kind of clicked for the Warriors on that first half. Nothing consistent. Just really find a rhythm on offense defense. Like you said, they had a really good promising first drive, but after that, it just seemed like Big Walnut had a football offense defense innings, right? So hopefully they're able to turn it around. You know, they have a good running clock in the second half, so maybe time is not on their side, but right now it's like it's just something to try, right? Put something on the board, get something to talk about in the film room for tomorrow, but not even too good for Warriors.
Taking a look at those stats, 24 minutes of play, Westerville North with 5 first downs, 31 passing yards, 19 rushing yards, for a total of 50 yards on the game, over 7 for 70 on penalties for Big Walnut, 9 first downs, 73 passing yards, 157 rushing yards, for a total of 130, no turnovers, 4 for 40 on penalties. So Westerville North starting off with 42 rushing yards after that initial first drive, worked all the way back to 19. The tackles for loss have certainly been a factor. They've been quick off the line.
Definitely, and that Big Walnut defense just been stout, right? It seems like every time that Chill just has ran the ball, especially on third down, just been running to a big wall. And it's just unfortunate for the Warriors, you know, just haven't been able to find an answer for Big Walnut, but not many teams have, like we said, in this pregame. So, yeah, you know, Big Walnut's just been firing on all cylinders. Like, it seems like everybody on their offensive special teams and special players kind of scored, right? You had Stumpf, and we had Burley, we had Bowers,
TJ Minor with the safety.
I mean, I'm wondering when I'm going to score, right? But it's just one of those things that everything just seems like it's going right for the Golden Eagles tonight, and effectively so. They've been playing a really sound, all-around great game. But, yeah, but it's like I said, the second half, you got to tune in, stay focused, take care of your body, and hopefully probably get some younger guys playing tonight as well. So should be good time all around.
With less than a minute remaining here in halftime, all that has been needed to be said has been said at this point, getting ready for the opening kickoff of the second half, and it's going to be Big Walnut that's back to receive. So, of course, the story all season long for Big Walnut has been the rushing yards, and we've seen it from a couple of different guys tonight, though. Eli Stumpf getting his legs under him with a touchdown of his own, and, you know, just a multifaceted approach to tonight's game.
And definitely, Stumpf has just had so much poise today, just through the passing game, through his use of his legs. Like, the numbers aren't eye-catching, but it's just, as you watch, the stats just don't really paint the whole picture, right? He's able to pick his spots, pick up first downs. A lot of times, once again, the Warriors kind of made him uncomfortable, or tried to make him uncomfortable, and he's able to get maybe 6, 7, 8, 9 yards sometimes. That's very frustrating if you're on defense. He's doing everything right. Coverage looks great downfield, and he kind of just slips away and gets a first down. So, yeah, the Warriors just haven't been able to find a solution, but maybe after this halftime conversation, they're able to find some type of answer for the Big Walnut offense attack.
So lining up for the kickoff. We are underway here in the third quarter. Big Walnut will start us off as they field it at the 12-yard line. Brody Hatfield with a full head of steam crossing the 30, now the 35, stays on his feet after contact and is brought down at the 41-yard line. Excellent field position for Big Walnut.
Definitely, Brody found a seam right there, Bryce, and he kind of just took it, carving up that special teams for the Warriors. You know, their special teams unit hasn't had the best day today, and you know, that play right there kind of was just illustration was kind of what's been transpiring the whole game, right? Just haven't been able to really make any type of progression, anything, unfortunately, from that muffled kickoff to, you know, just being gouged on the returns.
So now out of the pistol, first play of the half, they hand it off to Burley, who gets 8 yards in the process, takes it down on neutral ground on the 50-yard line. He'll have about 2 yards to go till that first down marker.
Once again, Burley's doing Burley things, and he's kind of just cutting up on this defense. And as it going to kind of get a little colder, Bryce, I can definitely see him have a little more impact. Like, he's a big, stocky guy, and as the game progresses, you know, defenders are just not going to tackle him.
So now we have a second down situation. 2nd and 3 to be exact, ruled officially down on the 49-yard line. Rolling out, Stumpf still has the ball, crosses the line of scrimmage, the first down marker and more as he runs out of bounds at the 40-yard line.
Once again, Stumpf being able to pick his spots, right? Once again, he just has so much poise back there. He doesn't seem like he's ever sweating. Kind of saw the play develop, saying, you know what, that really looked great, and he kind of just took matters in his own hands right there. Great play. Once again, that's just a veteran play by your quarterback, and that's what you want, especially as the season goes on.
Eli Stumpf for 6 for 6 on the day passing. He has 18 rushing yards as well.
Nobody talked to him. He's having a perfect game so far, bro.
Yeah. So now they'll look to pass once more. Almost over the head of the receiver. Instead, it's a reception. Out of bounds finally. Jackson Bowers will pick up the first down.
Number 6, Jackson Bowers.
7 for 7, right? That's great. And once again, Bowers is able to pick it up. Able to use some of that speed. He's able to kind of slip past the defense, picking up a big game for the Big Walnut offense.
His second catch on 2 targets, had a touchdown earlier on in the game.
Once again, this Big Walnut offense is not taking their foot off the pedal. They are cruising, looking like trying to get another touchdown, Bryce.
So the play action once more. They throw it on the screen. The reception is made and wrestled down just short of the 5-yard line, well inside the red zone.
Once again, Bowers is able to kind of get someone on tight end screen right there. Oh, sorry, that's Pollock, man. They're just so big and interchangeable.
Going back, like we talked about earlier on in the game, last year they ran that 2 tight end front to much success, and this time leading to some confusion defensively for the Warriors.
And once again, the depth of these skill players for Big Walnut is going to be studied for years to come, Bryce, because Pollock, Bowers, Hatfield, Barnicott, I mean, there's so many of them. I definitely, like I said, if you're a defensive coordinator, I know you are just tossing and turning in your bed as you try to game plan for this offense.
Speaking of Barnicott, he's the wide out on the right side as they put him in motion. They give it to Burley. Stumpf fakes the play action. After the penalty, they'll work it back up to the original line of scrimmage right at the 20-yard line.
Number 3, Burley.
A little misdirection, trying to catch the defense off balance right there. But once again, the Big Walnut offense is humming.
So now 2nd and 12 on the 22. They got to get it to the 10. Going with the more condensed front. Westerville North packing it in up front. Rolling out. Stumpf looking for a receiver. Flips it over. Intended receiver there was Bowers, but unable to come up with the grab. It was a tough one.
He must have heard me, right? Must have jinxed him. All right, 7 of 8, still a really great game, right? Just wasn't able to pull that one in right there, but
So a roughing the passer penalty will give the first down, the district at Berkshire first down to Big Walnut.
Oof, you can't have that if you're the Warriors right there. That is just undisciplined right there. I know it's fresh. I know you're frustrated. I know it's looking pretty bleak, but you gotta play the right way, right? And especially if you want to just play the game the right way, you can't do that by just having. That's like their second one, maybe it might be third one of the game, Bryce.
So Barnicott in alone in the backfield at quarterback. Burley in motion, fakes the jet sweep pass. Barnicott puts his head down, fights forward across the 4-yard line, brought down around the 3. It'll bring up 2nd and 2, so they can get a first down without scoring. The line to gain is the 1.
Once again, the Big Walnut defense is chopping away at this Warriors defense.
So an injury timeout is called as there's a man down for Westerville North. So they are attending to him as he's still down. We'll take a quick break.
Find more than a place to rent. Find a place to call home with the Champion Companies. Be part of a community where our team goes above and beyond because we want you to love where you live. Visit livewithchampion.com now and see how you can make the district at Berkshire your new home.
So back here in the third quarter, Magasuba slow to get up and on his own 2 feet making his way over to the sideline. It's good to see, but it tended to him for a while.
Definitely. Prayers to him and his family. Hopefully he's able to get back in the game.
So he gets Off the field of play, we're getting ready once again. 2nd and 2, ball on the 3-yard line.
2nd down, 3 for the Eagles.
Stumpf takes the snap to Burley. No, he throws it
pass.
over the top. Owen Pollock coming down with the reception.
Oh man, nice little RPO action right there, Bryce. As you can see, he kind of had like a little mesh huddle, and he high passes over the defense. Caught him napping right there. Excellent pitch and catch from the Big Walnut Golden Eagles.
And so turns the 30-point lead into a 36-point lead as they line up for the PAT to add one more.
Wow, this Big Walnut offense is just humming away, Bryce. Not missing the beat. Firing all cylinders. I think I'm running out of cliches to say because they're just that good right now tonight.
And kicks it through the upright. So Big Walnut now leading 37-0 here in the 3rd quarter with 4:42 remaining. Stay with us.
Find more than a place to rent. Find a place to call home with the Champion Companies. Be part of a community where our team goes above and beyond because we want you to love where you live. Visit livewithchampion.com now and see how you can make the district at Berkshire your new home.
So after the Big Walnut touchdown on the RPO to Owen Pollock, he became the 5th Golden Eagle tonight to score a touchdown as they allow this kickoff to go out of bounds. So 4:04 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. We do have a running clock situation to speed things along here in the 3rd. So with that, it's a district at Berkshire 1st down. That'll start on the 35-yard line. Now coming set for a wide receiver look. Stewart takes a snap, finds him on the wide receiver screen. Gets a 1st down and a couple of yards more, some healthy yardage to potentially get this drive moving.
Definitely, all right. Able to get some type of rhythm right there. Able to make a nice pickup for the Warriors. See, they're able to put something together, put some points on the board.
So after the reception by Smith, brings up another district at Berkshire 1st down, just 2 yards away from Big Walnut territory. The snap, play action, rolling out to his left. Picks up a couple of yards before he's brought down along his own sideline. The clock will stay running.
Okay, have a little bit of success right there. Okay. Definitely see they're trying to capitalize on the Big Walnut defense playing kind of a little bit blue coverage. Definitely kind of taking a little couple of steps back. Hopefully they're able to move some chains. Definitely once again, this is just for pride, right? They know this is a pretty bleak situation, but once again, you want to put something on the board, make sure you can have something to talk about in the film room on Saturday, Bryce.
Taking the snap, handing it off to Childress. Childress brought down at the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, once again, frustrating day after that first series for Childress. Hasn't really been able to find anything going. Now it's kind of 3rd and Third and long. Let's see what the Warriors come out.
So an injury timeout. Looks like it's Childress on one knee as the trainers tend to him. So the situation is 3rd and 8, ball spotted on the 50-yard line, so that makes the 42 the line to gain. Childress is Stewart is 5 for 7 passing with 44 yards on the game. Top receiver is Jaden Smith with 39 yards and 4 receptions for Westerville North.
Injured Warrior is off the field. 3rd down for the Warriors right at the midfield stripe.
So they'll go with the more spread out look. Big Walnut, 2 linebackers pressing the defensive line, looking to pass, gets near the 1st down marker. Not going to be enough. They're short by just a couple of yards, but this is a territory where they could maybe consider it.
Definitely, Bryce. At this point, you really have nothing else to lose. Punt really won't do you any good. Time to just kind of let the offense kind of cook, see what they can do. Hopefully they can pick up something.
So it brings up 4th and 3, and it looks like they are going to leave the offense on the field. So this would be a big momentum pickup for them and a boost of confidence if they're able to pick up the 4th down conversion here.
Definitely, Bryce. Definitely. Something to build on to once again.
Throwing to pass over the middle, hit it as he comes down with the catch, but it is a reception for a District at Berkshire 1st down.
That's a great play right there. Just hitting your high, as you can see. Big Walnut run the pressure on defense, and that's just a great read by your quarterback, able to kind of hit your safety valve and running back. Be able to pick up the 1st down, able to keep the chains moving.
0 for 9 on 3rd down so far tonight, but now 1 for 1 on 4th down. Westerville North will keep the chains moving. So that will bring an end to the 3rd quarter. Big Walnut leading 37-0 over Westerville North. Stay with us for 4th quarter action coming up next.
Live and free coverage of Big Walnut Athletics, proudly presented by the Sunbury Fraternal Order of Eagles, serving the community since 1898.
Flipping the field as we join you here in the 4th quarter, 37-0, Big Walnut leading. Stewart looks to pass, picks up the completion as he fights across the 35. And he's about 4 yards short of the 1st down marker, but good job of getting the ball out as it brings up 2nd and short.
Definitely. 2nd and short, able to maybe take a shot. Once again, just try to get something going for this offense. Seems like they had some success so far. Interesting to see what they come out with. They always come out in that bunch trips look, Bryce. Interesting to see if they're going to come out with any misdirection.
So they give it to Childress. The defense maybe thought that they were going with the wide receiver screen that they've been going to in previous attempts, but they'll just hand it off as he gets near the 1st down marker, about a yard short. It's 3rd and 1.
Look like a little bit of a halfback draw right there. Try to catch your defense napping once again. Gotta be able to pick up a couple, like you said, but like you said, it's 3rd down and more manageable. But they've been at 3rd down and more manageable all game. Let's see if they're able to capitalize on this.
Officially 0 for 10 on third down so far tonight. They'll snap in the backfield. Nowhere to go. He'll be stopped short. But a flag is thrown. Several flags.
Hadfield and Neff on the defensive stop.
So it goes against Big Walnut.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense, number 15. Penalty enforced, 15 yards from the end of the run. First down.
See, strong safety Jake Neff takes the penalty, and that will get them closer as they move the chains. An easy first down.
Definitely, and if you're the Warriors offense, you got to take any yards that they're going to give you. Once again, it's probably one of the best field positions they had all game, so hopefully you're able to capitalize and try to get some points right here, Bryce.
First down to the Warriors.
So that makes it a district at Berkshire first down as we're inside of 10 minutes here. Looking to pass, falling down though. TJ Minor picking up the sack.
Wow. Wow, right? He's just able to push him or push his own offensive lineman, push the Warriors offensive lineman to the quarterback. I mean, the ferociousness of TJ Minor, that is insane. If you're your defensive line coach, I know he's just ecstatic right now seeing your guys making such an impact on the game. With TJ Minor making a major play, Bryce, and see this Big Walnut defense able to, oh, wow.
Consumed by the line once again. TJ Minor on the half sack. The other part of that sack going out to number 34, Landon Doan.
Man, he must have heard me gassing him up to play before. Jeez Louise, this defensive line just came awake these last two plays.
So second and long, second and 22 to be exact. The line to gain all the way down at the 8. With a lone backfield, Stewart will look to the air. The left-handed QB is hit as he throws. Childress over the middle, trying to get loose, but he'll be short by about 11 or 12 yards. They are into field goal territory. They tried one from around here earlier. We'll see if they try it again.
It's looking like they might bring on some Warriors, additional Warriors on the field, right? It's looking like the kicker, it will be coming out.
So a chance to avoid the clean sheet. As he lines up, this one will be from 37 yards. The kick is up, and it's through. So Westerville North on the board for the first time tonight. 37-3, Big Walnut leads the way with 7:21 remaining here in the fourth. Stay with us.
Find more than a place to rent. Find a place to call home with the Champion Companies. Be part of a community where our team goes above and beyond because we want you to love where you live. Visit livewithchampion.com now and see how you can make the district at Berkshire your new home.
So 7:15 and ticking here in the fourth quarter. The Warriors get on the board for the first time tonight on a 37-yard field goal. They'll kick it away to Big Walnut. Brody Hatfield back to receive. He picks it up at the 5-yard line. Goes head to head with the tackler, stays on his feet before he's finally brought down at the 26 is where I think they'll rule him. That was a collision.
Definitely a collision, right? He brought the boom to him right in that play.
Mackey Glaze in on the defensive stop.
So a man slow to get up as he's limping over to the sideline. Take another look at that one. Just pushes him back 5-6 yards.
Yeah. Oh, man. Say no, people say Brody's a small guy, but he fools me every week, man. He brings the boom wherever he's at.
5'9", 167 pounds, and when you're that frame and you get that stat mentioned that often, you're hitting guys hard.
Definitely.
Man in motion, it's Rigg.
Whoa.
Has some trouble with it on the jet sweep. He'll pick up a couple of yards as they salvage the play.
Good recovery right there. That could have been really ugly really quick if that was him, but he was able to maintain the boys and able to pick up a couple.
Check that, Jack Rigg with the ball.
So a block in the back against Big Walnut will back him up.
Oof. Never a good one, Bryce. Never a good one. See, they're able to bounce back after being pushed behind the chains like that.
Now, folks, we were talking in the break. We don't really know who to pick for MVP right now. So many different guys, 5 different Golden Eagles scoring so far. So feel free to leave a comment either on Facebook or YouTube. We're watching them. And let us know who you think should be MVP. And if we get a few votes in there, we'll take them up. We'll take them.
Definitely. Always consider me. Love hearing from you guys.
So ball carrier brought down in the backfield.
It seems like they took out Burley and Stumpf for the night.
Yeah, looks like Bunting was the ball carrier, and a timeout is called by Westerville North. So we'll take a quick second to thank our sponsors here. I'd like to thank Complete Air Systems Heating and Cooling LLC. If you own a locally owned HVAC company with over 35 years experience to do top quality work without cutting corners, call Complete Air Systems Heating and Cooling Wing at 740-345-2021. Sunbury Christian, it's about relationship, not religion. Sunbury Fraternal Order of Eagles 3614, serving the Sunbury community and proud supporter of Big Walnut football. New members are always welcome. Reichert Express Used Cars Sunbury. Reichert Express Used Cars Sunbury right here in Sunbury at Reichert Express Used Cars right next to Tanger Outlets. We're dealing. Stover Excavating Incorporated, residential and commercial excavation services for the greater Columbus area since 2000. The District at Berkshire. Find more than a place to rent. Find a place to call home at the District at Berkshire. Brand new 1- and 2-bedroom apartment homes now available. North Central State College, providing individuals with the knowledge, skills, and inspiration to succeed in their chosen paths, and Rural First. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Rural First, the leader in rural lending. Rural First can help you live closer to what matters. Again, thank you to our sponsors who help bring us this bring you this coverage live and free right here on the OH Report. Now with a lone backfield, Stumpf with the free play on the offsides. Ball is dropped.
Gotta bring that one in. It's going to be 3rd down. And oof, not the best. Not the best.
Take another look. Stumpf is a little bit shaken up, hobbling a little bit.
Legal formation. Now 5 men, 50 to 79 on the line of scrimmage. Offense. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
So take another look. They say looks like the left tackle was off the line of scrimmage.
Oof. Yeah, Bryce. I know it can be kind of easy to let things kind of slide towards the end of the game like this, but you got to stay tuned up. You got to be locked in all the time we're on the field right there. You know, just getting those extra mental reps in.
So a couple of substitutions. We're inside of 4 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter as we have another break in the action. As the coach is conversing over on the sideline with the officials, not sure just yet what about. But they do pause the clock.
Penalty is still declined. 3rd down.
And they will decline the penalty. So 3rd and 14, ball on the 21-yard line. Line to gain at the 37. Drops back to pass, senses the pressure, cuts back, looking for a receiver. He'll take it himself as he runs out of bounds, but there's a late hit and a hit also on the sideline. A lot of flags.
Yeah, it's looking like a lot of extracurricular activities. Once again, temperature's going to be brewing. It's that type of game. It's getting a little chippy. Got to take care of yourself, but you got to play the game right, Bryce.
So still sorting all of this out. And waiting for the official decision. We'll take another look. Play out of bounds and the throw. That's what initially started it. It looks like Owen Pollock on the sideline had a bit to say about that as well. Clock still continuing to tick as we're inside of 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah, Bryce, you know, once again, like, the Warriors, I understand the frustration. But once again, you had to play the game right there. Hey, there's just no room in the game for those extracurricular activities, Bryce. You can't have that.
With how long they're talking, they may be discussing ejections. There's been a lot of unsportsmanlike conduct and personal foul penalties in the game so far.
But you hate to see, right? You hate to see, but at the same time.
Dead ball. Personal foul. Defense. Number 11. Dead ball. Personal foul by a non-player. Number 0. Offense. Number 0 is ejected. Those penalties will offset.
So offsetting penalties, and Owen Pollock has been ejected. So inside of 90 seconds now. Burned off a lot of time.
Definitely. That was a very interesting form of events right there, Bryce.
But it is 4th down, 4th and 14. We're inside. Well, no, they've now stopped the clock.
Timeout. Westerville North.
Westerville North will call a timeout. So we will take a quick break after that sequence. Stay with us.
Find more than a place to rent. Find a place to call home with the Champion Companies. Be part of a community where our team goes above and beyond because we want you to love where you live. Visit livewithchampion.com now and see how you can make the district at Berkshire your new home.
So a minute 22 remaining in this one as the clock will start on the running clock. Lining up in the punt formation, it's Nolan Burley who will kick it away.
What can he do, Bryce, right? Oh!
And a high kick almost blocked. Looked to be a block in the back penalty, but they're going to let him play as they down it on the 30-yard line. We're inside of 60 seconds. Great job by the rushers of not making contact. I mean, he made that really tempting.
Especially as the game has been kind of going, right? That was a blessing within itself. But once again, you know, seems like we're going to probably finishing off this one. Probably one more play. Great job by both teams. Got a little chippy in between there, but overall great game for a Friday night, right, Bryce?
Indeed so, and the offense getting to the line quickly. They look like they want to run a play. Less than 20 seconds remaining. Now at 15, the snap, looking to pass. Pressure in the backfield, just throws it onto the sideline. And they're just going to let this one play out. That was likely an intentional grounding, but with 10 seconds, it's not going to matter as the Big Walnut Golden Eagles have picked up the big victory at home here, 37-3 over the Westerville North Warriors. Stay with us for the MVP and post-game show coming up next.
Well, I think the first thing I would say to recommend this school is that it's affordable and flexible. And then the program itself, I would say that it has a very diverse, broad spectrum of fieldwork and career opportunities. I think the thing that prepared me the most was having that on-site directed practice, so I could actually be in an agency working with real people. And there's a ever-growing need for social work, especially in our community here.
This place means everything to us. This is where we come together. We do all of our birthdays out here. We grill hamburgers and hot dogs. We fish. I was about to give up. I was about to think that the property wasn't going to become mine. Rural First specializes in solving the problems. I made the call, and the rest is history. It was done. It made everything easy. Questions answered, walked me through the process. It was done. When I'm here, just feel peace. That's all it means to me. Peace.
Live and free coverage of Big Walnut Athletics, proudly presented by the Sunbury Fraternal Order of Eagles, serving the community since 1898.
This is Jonathan Langdon. Catch me right here every Thursday for the Block Party presented by Bob and Bob Door Company, your place for volleyball highlights on the OH Report.
Take a look at all the action from Friday night football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Bryce Cutter with the OH Report, and I am here with Jackson Bowers, our Stover Excavating MVP player of the game, game's leading receiver with 42 yards, a touchdown. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So we were talking about it a little bit. This is your second game back, but limited snaps last game. You had the injury in basketball season against Westerville North that took you out. What was that kind of recovery process like?
It was tough. It was a little over 8 months. It was hard. Just being consistent, lifting, and getting my legs strengthened back up so I can play football. It's awesome.
And coming into this game, I mean, we talked about it so much last year with that 2 tight end front that you ran last year. How does it feel as a team to be able to run that again? I mean, you have so much success.
It's good. It's like there's so much stuff we can do out of it. We got Owen. He's a Division I tight end, really good athlete. So it's nice just to have some different flexibility. We can do really whatever we want out of it.
And going with some different offensive looks tonight as well. What was it kind of like in practice, knowing you're going into a game where you feel like you have the upper hand, but also they could come out and surprise you?
The record isn't great. We got to prepare for every team the same way. They could come out and surprise us. We had a few scares last year. Just coming out strong, just fast start and finish the game out.
So we talk a lot about that offensive line and that blocking front, but as a tight end, what does that kind of mean for you as a blocker and a receiver to kind of have that scheme around you?
It's a great opportunity. It's the only position on the field you kind of do both things. Blocking's hard. Some D-tackle. Some of those dudes are like big guys. And also running around catching the ball. It's a fun position. It's great.
Anyone you want to shout out tonight?
Shout out Coach Harden and Eli Stumpf. Give me the opportunity, throw me the ball. That's it. Yeah.
Jackson Bowers, 2 catches, 42 yards, and a touchdown. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Find more than a place to rent. Find a place to call home with the Champion Companies. Be part of a community where our team goes above and beyond because we want you to love where you live. Visit livewithchampion.com now and see how you can make the district at Berkshire your new home.
Defense is just Big Walnut all the time tonight, right?
Great game for them, and kind of a cool stat here is 5 different Golden Eagles scored on the night. No Golden Eagle scored twice.
Right in the well. That's kind of what the mantra has been for this Golden Eagle offense, right? And like I said, throughout the whole game, if that defense coordinator, it has to be a game plan for his offense because, like you said, it's just so many weapons. And right in the well is just probably the mantra of the season so far for the Eagles.
Absolutely. So let's go ahead and take a look at our stats through this game. 11 first downs for Big Walnut, 97 passing yards, 190 rushing yards for a total of 287. No turnovers on either side, 7 for 66. Penalties for Big Walnut. Westerville North, 7 first downs, 77 passing yards, 3 rushing yards, 87 total. No turnovers, 8 for 81 on the penalty yards. And got a little tricky there at the end, certainly a lot of penalties. And that's something that they're really going to have to work on going into the late season when they start playing more skilled teams and these yards really start to matter.
Definitely can't shoot yourself in the foot right there, Bryce. You're going to have to be able to be disciplined and be able to cut down on those silly mistakes. Like you said, great teams don't make them. And if you want to be great later in the postseason, you're going to have to cut down those turnovers.
So taking a look at The upcoming games, Westerville North is going to be taking on Worthington Kilbourne on the 17th, and Big Walnut will be playing Dublin Scioto. And the way things are shaping out, that should prove to be the game where they clinch the division championship if they can pick up that big victory over Dublin Scioto.
Yeah, definitely. You know, so I wouldn't be surprised if Big Walnut came up with a little more fire, showing the league that, hey, this is our league and to give us our crown, right? So it's going to be an interesting game next week. I'm excited to, as always, talk to you about it, hang out with you next Friday night, Bryce.
So wrapping things up one last time, I'm Bryce Coder, your play-by-play commentator and director, joined in the booth by Joshua Anderson. We'll take one more opportunity to thank our sponsors. I'd like to thank Complete Air Systems Heating and Cooling LLC. If you own a locally owned HVAC company with over 35 years experience to do top quality work without cutting corners, call Complete Air Systems Heating and Cooling LLC. We 740-345-2021. Sunbury Christian Church, it's about relationship, not religion. Sunbury Fraternal Order of Eagles 3614, serving the Sunbury community and proud supporter of Big Walnut football. New members are always welcome. Reichert Express Sunbury, shop Reichert used cars right here in Sunbury at Reichert Express used cars right next to Hanger Outlets. We're dealing. Stover Excavating Incorporated, residential and commercial excavation services for the greater Columbus area since 2000. The District at Berkshire. Find more than a place to rent. Find a place to call home at the District at Berkshire. Brand new 1 and 2 bedroom homes now available. North Central State College, providing individuals with the knowledge, skills, and inspiration to succeed in their chosen paths. The Rural First. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Rural First, the leader in rural lending. Rural First can help you live closer to what matters. If you're watching at home, please take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Have a great rest of your night.